candidate for Congress in Washington State. She is a mom of 7, grandmother of 3, married 32 years, a best-selling author, founder of the organization known as Firmly Planted Family and the Firmly Planted Homeschool Resource Center. As I mentioned, is running for Congress, 3rd Congressional District in Washington State. Just had a meeting with Donald Trump yesterday. Please welcome to the program Heidi St. John. Heidi St. John, how are you?
Hey, I'm great, Larry. Thank you for having me on. It's really an honor to be here.
You came highly recommended. Pastor Jack Hibbs says you got to put her on. You got to talk to her. She's running for Congress. I understand you just now met with President Trump. I saw the photograph. He looks like he's lost weight. He looks mean and lean. He looks like he's in mid-season form.
Oh, he looks great. I think he's stronger than ever. His spirit is right there. His passion has never left. He loves his country, and anyone who's ever spent time with him knows it.
Did he endorse you officially?
No. So there are 3 people running right now to unseat Jamie Herrera Butler. She is the rhino Republican that voted to impeach the president and voted against the wall and voted for the investigation and all of those things. And so there are 3 people right now running to impeach her, and I think he's waiting to see who raises the most money, who has the most support on the ground. And I've lived in the district longer than anyone who's running against me, and I was there basically to make the case that I'm the best person for this job and talk about what's happening in Washington's 3rd Congressional, because what's happening in the 3rd Congressional is, just a little bit of a microcosm of what's happening around the nation. The nation's in trouble, Larry, and you know that.
Talk to us about your district. Tell us about your district demographically.
So CD3 is one of it's conservative districts, barely. We've got people moving in from other states and other counties, and I'm always telling them, if you're moving from a liberal county or community because of the policies, please don't bring your policies
right.
with you and vote for the same things that ruined your policy there and ruin it in my district. And I think we're a little on the purple side, but I know that we can take it. I think people's eyes are really starting to open up. Our governor, Jay Inslee, one of the worst governors in the nation, he's running neck and neck with your governor in California. And
That's not good.
Signed into law about a month ago. He signed critical race theory into law. Our public schools are on fire. We have adopted comprehensive sex education, which that's when I met you, Larry. The first time was at Pastor Jack's church when I was speaking out against comprehensive sex education in our school.
Right.
So the district is in trouble. We need to bring back common sense, and we need to have good people, men and women of integrity, running for positions of authority.
I'm talking to Heidi St. John. She is a candidate for the Congressional District 3rd in Washington. Her website, Heidi St. John, Heidi S.T., Heidi St. John for Congress.com. Heidi, the issue of immigration, does that affect your state? And if so, what's your policy on that?
Well, it affects our state in that people are coming illegally from the border, obviously mostly in California, and they'll come up into Washington State, and they're looking for jobs in the agricultural industry and in housing and other places. And we're not anti-immigrant, and I think it's really important to continue to say that. What we want is lawful immigration. What we want is for people to come to this country lawfully. We are a nation of laws. We're a nation of immigrants. And those who've come over here lawfully, I met a man just yesterday who came over here from Norway with not a penny to his name and built a very, very successful business here. He worked it from the ground up. He loves this country. What we're seeing now are people coming here and they have automatically a sense of entitlement. They come over here and break our laws, and they have a sense of entitlement. I've actually never seen anything like it. We've got to have border security. President Trump was right on the border. A nation without laws, a nation without borders isn't a nation. Those borders make us a sovereign nation, and our laws make us a nation unto ourselves. And so I would like to see, immigration reform. I'm a proponent of it. And I think there are conversations. Some of the conversations are nuanced, right? And so we've got this big, juggernaut in Congress and in the government, and we're not allowed to have these nuanced conversations. It's always either one or the other, and I'd like to see us have the conversations, but they have to center around the fact that we are a nation of laws, and the laws have to be respected. If you or I went to Europe or any other country, I was in France a couple of years ago, I would have never dreamed of going over there and violating their law upon arrival, but that's what's happening here, and it should be alarming to people.
Heidi St. John,
I'm a huge proponent.
As far as I know, this is your first stab at politics. Why now?
Because I'm tired of sending people to Washington, D.C. who say they're going to represent me, and then they get there and they don't. And I'm tired of watching the radical left take these spineless, cowardly Republicans and drag them around the Capitol by the nose. And it's done. We've got to have people going that are willing to stand up to these bullies, and they are bullies. They're bullies trying to change the language. I mean, we see this all over the country. The same thing is happening here in Iowa, where I am right now speaking for a convention. It's happening in Washington State. And I want to see men and women of conscience and courage. The real pandemic in this country, Larry, is not a virus with a 99.89% survival rate. It's a pandemic of courage. It's a pandemic of conscience. And that's why I'm running. I've had enough. My grandchildren now are being raised in my district. Now, I don't want them growing up in a country that doesn't have a conscience. My guest is Heidi St. John, congressional candidate, 3rd District in Washington. Again, website HeidiSt.JohnForCongress.com, HeidiSt.JohnForCongress.com. Heidi, of the 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Trump, 9 of them are facing very serious primary challengers, including in your district. How do you characterize what happened on January 6th? The media, the Democrats refer to it as an insurrection. What do you call what happened on January 6th? Well, I certainly wouldn't call it an insurrection. What happened on January 6th is we see people who have no idea what they're talking about, right? The mainstream media pundits and people like Jane Herrera Butler who felt threatened because of people invading the space in the Capitol, which is clearly wrong. I'm not here to say everyone should be climbing the walls of the Capitol and breaking into the Capitol building. That was wrong. But we have this system of justice in this country where you are innocent until proven guilty. And what they did was they circumvented what has always been how we run things in this country, and they said you're guilty, and therefore we want to impeach you. And that is wrong on 100 different levels, and that was why I was so angry. You know, we didn't know who was up there. Antifa is not too far from where I live, burning down the city of Portland. 10 seconds. And they were absolutely there. And so I don't trust what I hear in the mainstream media anymore at all. And I feel like the people that voted to impeach the president on that day jumped to judgment, like we're seeing the mainstream media train them to do. I couldn't agree more. The website is HeidiSt.JohnForCongress.com. Heidi St. John, thank you very much for taking the time, and good luck. Oh, thank you for having me, Larry. It's been a pleasure.